Well, hey there everyone. It is currently from the 18th going into the 19th of February 2013, and well, it is the middle of February, and you would think one of the last things we'd be watching right now is a tropical systems, but tropical depression Crising. Lingering just here towards the southeast of Mindanao is where its center of location is, tracking off here to the west, and it really is bringing some heavy rainfall across southern Philippines here. And actually the one radar that I really want, where I saw a report here about 70 to 80 millimeters in the past 24 hours, is down, plus the one just down here towards the south a little bit sketchy, missing some areas. So that just shows that the Philippine radars are still in their beta phase, I guess you would say. They haven't even really been released to the public for about a year now. But what you can see here is coming out of the south, we have some heavy rainfall even out here stretching into Visayas. Some storms are really starting to kick up. So definitely already seeing the rain and still that risk of some significant rainfall here as it does continue to track here along the southern portion of Mindanao. Grabs that moisture out of the intertropical convergence zone, which in itself is causing a slew of problems. Actually, there was a landslide reported today in Indonesia, which killed upwards of 14 people. Still, few other people have reportedly died due to flooding there. So definitely, the ITCZ has plenty of moisture available, and that is going to enhance this storm system as it continues to track off here to the west. Now, the exact track, I want to put it in simple terms. It doesn't really matter where this makes landfall. If it does make landfall, if it pushes down here towards the south or runs right over Mindanao, that is not so much the threat, because despite if it's here or here, you're not really going to be seeing significant winds. You will be possibly seeing some gale force winds, but nothing too destructive. It's the rainfall as that moisture comes in all across this area here, and this is kind of misleading because you have that cone of air, but really the heaviest rainfall likely is going to be off here towards the north in Davao Oriental, unfortunately already under signal force warnings showing that gusty winds, but still that significant risk of some flooding and even landslides, especially in these areas that were deforested after the typhoon. You very well could be seeing some landslides. But that is the forecast from Bagasa. JMA also stamping this as a tropical depression ever since their 06 UTC update at 1004 HPA. Thus, we are confirming officially from the official source here in the Western Pacific that it is being called a tropical depression at this time. Now, given that we are seeing a rather decent inflow coming in around this also from the north as well, we do have that vertical wind shear pounding in on it. That's going to keep it relatively weak. But overall, if you look at this with the center of circulation right here, inflow coming in from the south, also from the north, it's fairly obvious there is a center of circulation here. It is a low pressure area, and a low pressure area, closed off low pressure area in the tropics by definition is a tropical depression. So with that said, that is just the current, actually latest IR imagery, and lots of moisture to deal with here, thus that threat of flooding. But this is actually starting here overnight on Monday going to Tuesday. Looking at the Euro model, center of circulation here, Mindanao here, Visayas off there, already seeing that rainfall push on shore. Like I said, here in northeastern Mindanao, I actually saw some reports upwards 70, 80 millimeters already reported in the past 24 hours. And actually, just to take a step back from this really quick, the flood forecast from the GO satellite or the TRIM here actually shows upwards of 250 millimeters in the forecast here over the next several days, specifically once again here on the eastern portions of Visayas and Mindanao, but I do expect it to continue to actually pull off here even as far west as Pelham as the storm does track off into that direction. Now, this is on Tuesday, basically kind of over the southwestern portion of Mindanao. Once again, that rainfall continuing to push on shore. Northern Borneo, you're very likely going to be getting in a little bit of this as well, as that continues to wrap around and starts to pull the moisture out of the South China Sea here. Then eventually the center of circulation is going to move across Palawan here on Wednesday, but take a look at this. It still has that moisture inflow coming back in all the way from Palau, pushing in across the island, and long as it does that, you're still going to be seeing some heavy rainfall here, so still that continued risk even going into Wednesday. So about a 48-hour outlook here, you're still going to be watching this storm system as it slowly tracks off there. It's not really until the latter part of the week when things start to somewhat calm down, but still moisture inflow. And actually on Thursday, I expect this to even draw some moisture in and around Manila. So not so much here on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but Wednesday evening going into Thursday, Manila, you're very likely going to be getting in on some of these heavy rains as that low pressure area lingers off here into the South China Sea. And then still very long range, and it's going to have to battle some vertical wind shear, but Vietnam, you very well could get on this as well, and very well could get some heavy rainfall. But like I said, vertical wind shear, if we pull this map up here, the northeast monsoon is going to be battering here into Vietnam. So as it does track off there a little bit farther west, you see it very low actually back here across the Philippines, while as it tracks farther west is really going to encounter that more. And overall, the conditions for this to continue to maintain a cyclonic circulation are just going to basically go away. And even while all this is going on, you also have to watch out for some lightning strikes, and especially near the coastlines. See this going through the Monday and overnight hours into Tuesday, there's a very high cape, so especially near coastlines when you have these systems blow onshore, there is actually a slight risk of a weak tornado whipping up. We've seen this happen before, not completely unheard of, but within some of these stronger thunderstorms, there definitely is the risk as this continues. Now, not meant to scare anybody, just saying the threat is there as this does track across Mindanao. Gradually weakening off, though, the threat will go away. But there still is that threat of the heavy rainfall. And all in all, this is actually your Tuesday outlook across the rest of the Western Pacific. Cannot forget about you. We have Tropical Depression Crising down here towards the south, continuing to impact you here in the Philippines. The ITZZ dominating the tropics. Hong Kong, you're actually well above your average for temperatures right now. We've been seeing an influx of warm air. Well, that influx of warm air is colliding with an influx of cold air out of Siberia, which is just absolutely bitterly cold. That interaction is creating a stationary boundary, which is the start of the monsoon stationary boundary. Rather early here, but it really is a stationary front stretching all the way out of China here. Cold front attached to it. Low pressure area towards the southeast of Japan. If anything, that does look like a monsoonal front. And then some CFX snow still impacting you here in the northern portions of Japan. All the skiers and people at the ice festival rejoice for the CFX snow. But that is all for now, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can always post them in the comment box below. Also, if you haven't, follow us on Facebook. Always love it when you follow us on Facebook because we put updates there all day, every day. Always have stuff continuing to come out. And also, one other thing, subscribe to the website, which means you can get our updates via email, which is always great. So stay safe out there, though, everybody. And really, I hope the best for everybody here in the southern Philippines. And always remember, we are not an official agency by any means, so please check in with Pagasa or the Japan Meteorological Agency for your latest official information.